extreme capitalism in America, but especially with things like healthcare. People just surviving and living and just getting the healthcare that they need. And just this idea of people putting business and profits above anything else. I actually do kind of like this opening trap though. We've got these two people that work in predatory lending, something that happens all over the place in the United States. There are predatory lenders everywhere and it's completely legal. But anyways, kind of satisfying to see these type of people kind of get what's coming to them. But anyways, this trap is like, all right, who can put the most amount of flesh, the heaviest amount of flesh on this scale in 60 seconds? All right, go. And just that idea of it, kind of crazy. But with this movie especially, 6 movies in, as I'm watching this movie, it just really hits me. It's like, all right, Saw at this point is just a soap opera. It's essentially like a bloodier version of all of those, like, in my opinion, kind of corny shows on TV. If you love them, you know, no problem, whatever. But, you know, those shows like Law and Order, NCIS, CSI, shows that I just don't think are like top quality TV or just TV shows in general. Like I said, they have some things that they do well, and if you like them, no shade towards you, but it's kind of just feeling like a bloodier version of that. And my reason for pointing that out is, man, just the people that they cast, especially in this movie, Saw 6, it's like the acting here is just very mediocre, which feels like a lot of those shows. It's like passable acting, you know, it kind of sort of gets the job done, but it's mostly just mediocre. But also overall, just the vibe of it feels very much like I'm just watching a Law and Order show up to this point in the franchise, which we do get some of that, of course, in like the original 2 movies, the original 3 movies, but not to this extent. Now, I bet they kind of knew with Saw 6, they're probably like, all right, Hoffman is probably not going to be able to carry this franchise, so they do implement Jigsaw back into the story, like, hey, he's got some unfinished business that he needs taken care of. I do kind of like this gauntlet thing that this SVP healthcare guy, insurance guy has to go through to save all these different people. That's kind of unique for the franchise in a little bit of a way, but it also makes me think, okay, there is no way Hoffman or Jigsaw or anyone else could have set this up without having a construction crew of like 50 people and millions of dollars. Like, this is way too advanced. It would also take 6 months, whatever, to set all this up. I mean, whatever it is, it would take a really long, ridiculous time to set all of these traps up. I do like, though, how Jigsaw incorporates the insurance denial rates into how many people will survive one of those traps. I like that. Also in this one, the acting is just so weird, especially those moments where it seems like everybody knows that Hoffman is behind all of this stuff. It seems very obvious. Even the looks on their face, it seems like they know that he's doing this, and they're just kind of messing with him. They're kind of playing with him until eventually they go ahead and just arrest him. But no, that's not the case at all. Hoffman just goes ahead and slaughters all of them and keeps using Strom's severed hand to place fingerprints on everything. And we kind of get 2 big reveals in this movie. One of them being that Amanda was dating the junkie who crashed the door into Jigsaw's wife's stomach. That's one of them. The other one is that the family that we're seeing that's in one of the traps isn't actually the insurance guy's family. It's actually the family of the guy who he denied a claim for, and now they get to choose whether or not he dies or he lives, which is the same thing because this guy got to basically choose whether or not